Okay, so we went coaching on how to play the new Rainbow Six game. I've kind of already watched this entire thing, and I think I'm only going to touch on the parts that I think really matter. So we'll start from the beginning, right? So one thing I want to notice, or I want to point out, is like you are always aiming at the ground, like all the time. Like your crosshair is right here the entire time. The entire time I'm watching this, you're aiming at the ground. Um, and that is not the proper way to aim. The more better way to aim is to always have your crosshair where they can be, and they're not going to be on the ground here. This is not where any enemy spawns ever. Uh, I know you just walked into this room, but the way you would walk into this room is you wouldn't just like dry walk through this door, right? So the better way to do it is you would get to this corner right here and you would stick your crosshair right here. The white dot of your crosshair that's usually right here, you want to stick right here. This is about head height. And you turn, as you turn, you move your mouse to the right. And what that's doing is that's peeking around the corner. If you wanted to peek over here, you would bring your crosshair across over here and you would dry peek with it. Um, and that's clearing all of your angles. So like if we walked in here, we could have had our crosshair peeking right here. It would clear all of this, and we would turn with it, and it would clear all of this. And then we could walk over here, stick our crosshair on this side, and then clear the left side. And we would have this entire area cleared. Assuming that enemies can even spawn in this area, right? But you're just staring at the ground, and you do that the entire time. So like right here, you should already have your crosshair like right here, clearing this angle instead of at the ground. There's nothing here. Are you trying to replace the tiles, right? Like no, keep your crosshair up. And you would hug this wall. You would stick your crosshair on either wall, really, depending on which, however you want to clear the angle. And you would turn with it. Another thing I want to point out, and it could just be your recording, I don't know, but the game is really dark. You might consider bumping up the brightness a little bit, because sometimes it's really hard to see. Like I can't even see that guy. Really. I mean, if I'm looking for it, but like if it was a lot brighter, it'd be easier. Yeah, I don't know if that's something you can do. That's something I would recommend. Um, but everything's fine. I question the viability of this gun. I don't know all the guns in the game. This might be the best gun. I don't know. But something I've noticed throughout the entire thing is that you're always shooting one time. The thing about the C75 automatic pistol is like and like I said, this might be good for this game. I don't know, but for most games, the C75 auto or any automatic pistol is good for burst damage, but like when you're firing single shots like this, it is usually like bad. You generally want to use the full auto feature of the pistol, and uh, generally like a semi-automatic handgun will do more damage or be easier to aim with. Because something I have noticed is like when you aim with this gun has like terrible this crosshair takes up like so much. It's way harder to use than it needs to be. And maybe all pistols are like that. I don't know, but you know, maybe experiment with other pistols and keep in mind like you're not actually using the automatic feature of this gun at any point in this entire video. anytime you're going full auto, you swap to your rifle, which is probably the better call, but it just means like this pistol that you use for stealth is just completely fucking useless. Uh, so we're gonna skip ahead. All of this was fine. Like, yeah, you're clearing stealth. Like I said, the most important thing is like when you're walking around corners and stuff, you just need to quit staring at the ground. Throughout the entire video, staring at the ground here, whatever, you know. Um, but we're gonna skip ahead. This fight, this was fine. I mean, you can't really know where they're coming from. Yeah. This was mostly fine, I think. Let me refresh myself. But, okay, so this is like another thing. Is like you're like staring at the ground all the time. Like, I don't.
Let him dig out the charges.
It gets better at points, but it just really helps with your aiming and reaction if you're actually like got proper crosshair placement. Also, I don't really know what this black stuff is, but like you see the black stuff right here on this pillar like grow. I don't know if that signifies that they're about to attack or anything, but well, if it is, um, that's something to look out for. The issue is like I just can't really see. It could just be your recording. Maybe it looks better for you, but like I really cannot see.
I'm reloading.
Because it's so dark. But for the most part, like it's fine.
They're attacking the charges. Take them out.
Yeah, that was fine.
The enemy can't rely on them anymore. Good news for us.
Where's the staircase? That's right here. Okay, this was really bad. And at the end of the mission, you kind of did like the same thing, right? Because you're always talking about how like you can't really take a whole lot of damage. Taking damage is really bad, and that's what you're kind of implying that you're struggling with. So right here, this was terrible. Why are you wide open right here? You could have like hugged this corner right here and peeked and used this as cover. But what you end up doing is you come to the stairs where there's no cover anywhere and you just fight them. You lay down right here. Like, why? You got no cover here. I guess the idea is that you back up, but like as you're backing up, they can still see you. They can see you for a good couple seconds as you're taking damage. Like, so they start shooting at you, and like, well, where are you gonna go? You now have to fight your way out of this, and you're just taking extra damage than if you would have just if you would have just stayed next to the door here and just peeked around the corner. Like you didn't need to take most of this damage.
Carry that into the next subzone.
This was just terrible. I hated everything about this. I mean, you could have even like walked over on this ledge right over here, and if you wanted to crouch, like you could stay on the right side over here and crouch more. You could have hidden behind this desk and like peeked over it. I mean, you literally chose like the worst option if you're not wanting to take damage. Also, you had like 9 flash grenades. I think you could have used some of those. But I did not like any of this at all. Uh, that's something to keep in mind. Is just always think about the cover. Uh, like yeah, if you're trying to reduce how much damage you're taking, think about like your options of protecting yourself if you get shot at. I mean, yeah, I think you get the point. The last thing I wanted to talk about was like what happened here at the end. The rest of this was like fine. It's mostly just doing the objectives. I don't really understand what the black stuff on the ground is, so you sometimes like walked on the black stuff and sometimes you didn't, so I don't really understand that. But this right here was very bad, I feel. So we come up to this door and we open this door and we see there's a big guy right here and he immediately spots us as we're pulling out a flash grenade. Unfortunate timing, I get that. So what we do, what do you end up doing? You throw a flash in there and you kill him, right? Or you try to kill him. I don't think that was the right call. I think there's way too many enemies in here, as you saw as you ran in here. You don't have to commit to a plan. So you threw the flash grenade. You might not have seen the enemy behind him, right? So you get to right here and you should see that there's more than just him in here. And at that point, I think it would have been better to instead back up to about right here and start shooting at these other enemies. You have 10 flash grenades. It's okay to waste one to back off with this plan. Like, you don't have to full commit to the plan. You can see that there's enemies over here. You're like, okay, well, maybe you can't kill this guy with your gun, but you can kill this guy with your gun. And if you see this foot right here, you know there's another enemy behind him, so you could kill him with your gun, and then you can focus on the big guy. But you went for the full commitment on the knife. It did not work out. Now you got guys coming from angles that you didn't clear before opening the door, and you're kind of stuck in here with like low HP. So you start panicking, right? But the better option would have been to like run past him. You don't really see much when you step into this room, so it's it's better to go to like where you know is safe instead of like running deeper. Because like yeah, you from what we see, you don't even see that it's a dead end. Like you can kind of see that as a dead end, but you could also imply that it keeps going to the left. But instead of full committing here, I think if you would have backed off to where you know is safe and start fighting them, it would have been a lot safer than running deeper into the thing where there could be even more enemies. Um, so you run deeper in, throw that flash, and with this flash, you realize like I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here, right? And I do not understand what happens here. So you're low on HP. I think you need to reload. Let me double check.
You're reaping the rewards of your efforts. Don't stop just yet.
You're panicking. You start shooting. Yeah, you're down to 8 bullets. So you gotta reload. And you decide to take this fight. Throw a flash, and then you try to kill him, and that was just really bad. I I I don't know how long flash grenades work in this game, but I don't think they last that long. You needed to just turn around and run and kind of kite them like you're doing, and you could have fought them in this area. Just give yourself time to like recover. Like you put yourself in a really dangerous situation here because you're low on HP, you're already panicking, and when you're panicking, it's not the best time to take like a hard fight. You want to have some time to collect yourself, and you got 9 flash grenades. We can work with that. So what we would do is we just turn around, we throw this flash. I like this flash, but we do not charge them. We use that to buy some time to run back and collect ourselves. Figure out like we need a game plan and maybe even separate the two. Like we don't need to fight both of them at the same time. Maybe we can split them up somehow, you know. Come up with the game plan instead of being like, okay, my game plan is to use my flash grenade and then attack them. Uh, that flash grenade should instead be a defensive flash grenade. Like this is a flash grenade to stun you, and then I'm gonna run back down the stairs where I know it's safe. When I recollect myself, I'm gonna come up with a game plan. Instead, you go down. At that point, you realize this is a little out of hand. I'm not going to be able to complete this objective. So you throw a flash, and you decide to get out of there. And I don't disagree with that. It's better to survive. I gotta be always be aware of your surroundings, even as you're escaping. I know you're not in immediate danger, but this is just good things to get in a good habit of. Is like you had this entire left area that you could have walked, but you went through the slow area for no reason. Um, it's just a good habit, good foundations. So, that's my tips for you. I hope it helps.